Welcome to a Call of Cthulhu Tales of Death and Madness session. This is going to be the first event in Blades and Blasters virtual B&BCon that's going to go on this weekend, I guess actually just today, with several games occurring throughout the day. So we have the honor of being the first. So we are going to get started. We have with us 4 players, Slip, Demi, Wanderer, and Matihi. And we're just going to get right into it. Egypt, November 26, 1924. You and your colleagues have been working tirelessly with shovel, spade, and trowel in the Egyptian Valley of Kings. The sun beats down upon you as you carefully unveil the facade of an ancient structure cut deep into the cliff face, buried by the sands of several millennia. Your party of contracted laborers works like busy ants, and soon a doorway is uncovered. At the top of 13 steps that descend to an entryway covered by a large stone slab stands your team of 4. Olivia Washburn, the archaeologist, an experienced digger in Egypt and the leader of the expedition. Olivia has been granted sufficient funding for 1 more season. However, if she and her team don't find something soon, their time in the land of the pharaohs will be over, and her mediocre and unlucky career will likely end in soul-crushing obscurity. Howard McReady, the professor of languages. Although Professor McReady has spent most of his professional career translating Germanic manuscripts, his training at University College London was in Middle Egyptian hieroglyphics. Seeking a change from his purely academic life, he's here to help translate any discoveries that might be unearthed at the dig site in the Valley of Kings. Edith Clemente, the dilettante. Edith is an incredibly wealthy individual with a fascination for all things ancient and valuable. Thanks to her large fortune, she can afford to indulge herself as she wishes, and this year she's decided to fund a dig in the Valley of the Kings. Well, if Lord Carnarvon can do it, why can't she? Although hopefully it will end a lot better for her than it did for poor old George. And Jack Jones, the ex-soldier. Following his dishonorable discharge from the British Army for striking an officer, and yes, the knob totally deserved it, Jack has been picking up work wherever he can find it. Most recently, he finds himself returning to the sweltering heat of Egypt, where he served during the Great War, offering security to yet another pathetically optimistic dig team at yet another mind-bogglingly dull dig site. Now, under your watchful gaze, the laborers construct a primitive pulley system and begin hoisting the heavy slab blocking the tomb's entrance into the sky. Stale air from the dark hallway invites you inside with a promise of untold treasure. You excitedly rush into the inside into the darkness, your mere steps away from fame, fortune, and the discovery of a lifetime. But as you all enter the ancient chamber, you hear a cry of alarm from one of the laborers. The stone slab slams down behind you onto the ground, and you're plunged into total darkness. It appears you are trapped.
Olivia curses silently under her breath as the stone falls behind them, and quickly starts fumbling around for the electric torch or lantern that they would have brought into this tunnel.
You have what you have on your sheet.
Okay.
Nobody brought an electric torch or lantern.
into a pyramid.
and I need everyone to make a sanity check to start us off right. If you fail, you lose 1 sanity for the feeling of suddenly being trapped. And that would be your little blue bubble. That is your sanity.
Olivia, Edith lets out a scream as the slab slams shut, plunging them into darkness. She starts to clutch on to the nearest person who's next to her. Get us out! Get us out! I can't be in here!
That would be Jack. As you recall, he was to your right when you entered.
Okay. Jack will pull away a little bit as she's grabbing him, and he's turning around to the door, and he sort of mutters, "Bloody hell! Oi, you out there! Get this bloody thing moving!" And then he starts cursing in the few words of Arabic he knows. He's being extremely impolite to all the workers out there.
Oh, go ahead.
After a moment of panic, Olivia starts patting herself down. She reaches the little knapsack she's got hanging from a cross-shoulder bag and puts her hands inside and breathes a panic sigh of relief. Oh, all right. I've got some candles. Does anyone have a lighter?
I have some matches in my bag. I can see Miss Clemente. She starts feeling over herself, trying to find the little satchel she has, and with shaky hands, takes her a while to pull out a very small matchbook. Eventually, with a bit of fumbling and dropping one of the matches on the floor, she strikes one up and kind of illuminating the area with a quick flame. She quickly maneuvers her way over to where Olivia is to light the candle.
As it lights, tension almost visibly drains off of Olivia. Although looking around at how tight this tunnel is doesn't give her a great deal of comfort. Jack, are you hearing anything from the other side of that slab? Do you hear the workers?
Hearing anything?
You hear just faint sounds. Are you pressing your ear up against the slab?
Yeah, if I can't hear anything clearly, I will.
Yeah, go ahead and make a listen check.
I'm going to be a little bit careful just in case anything happens to the slab while I'm
okay.
listening at it. No.
No, I mean, you hear just the faintest of sounds outside. Clearly there's some shouting going on, but it's so faint. This is a very thick slab.
Okay. Yeah, being the 1920s, Jack probably says something casually racist about the workers, and I can't really tell what they're doing out there. Hopefully they'll get it moving in the end, but I don't think they can hear me.
Damn locals.
Well, they won't be getting paid and we get out of here, so I suppose we can trust their own sense of self-interest to get them moving. In the meantime, I suppose we might as well have a look around.
How many of those?
How many of those candles do you have?
She reaches inside her bag, hoping that it was more than one.
Well,
You can see in your gear and possessions.
Oh, okay.
Every item's listed. Each of you has a gear and possessions section on your character sheet. Everything you have is there.
I've got 4 of these. each one should last quite a bit. But I suggest we only light one at a time, just in case.
The air in here is pretty stuffy, and the initial rush in, that you didn't notice it, but now that the slab is shut behind you, it does have a very closed-in feel in here.
What's the air like?
It's warm right here. It's a little dusty. You imagine probably because the door slammed down and disrupted some dust. Shot some sand and dust up into the air. So it's a little choky, but not too bad right now.
Okay.
McCready, why don't you come have a look at the wall here? Might as well
Why?
focus on. Well, would you rather sit and think about being trapped in here, or focus on work?
Does it appear to be anything special, or are these just cracks?
No, they're actually, you can see, let's see here. There are, so you can all kind of see in the light, there are some pictures, some hieroglyphics and pictographs all along the wall. I will show you a quick picture of that now that you have a little light.
Jack will turn to. Is it what's Mrs. Clemente's first name?
Edith, but
Edith. He'll turn to Edith and say, "Look, Mum, I think we're going to be stuck down here a little while till these workers get this moving again. So why don't you go and have a look at the little carvings on the wall with the folks over there? They'll, keep you distracted. I'll sort this out."
well, thank you, Jack. Unfortunately, I can't read anything like this. But both you and Olivia are correct. We should still push on. No reason to waste time. Stay near the door.
Absolutely, Mum. And just probably for his own sake, more than thinking it will actually do anything, he'll yell a few more things in broken Arabic out the door. He's probably only just about 3 words of it, and then keep yelling at them to move the slab and bang on it a few times, and then give up.
Yeah, you kind of yell and listen, and you don't even hear shouting anymore out there.
I haven't given up. Okay, I won't tell anyone about that yet. I'll give the slab an experimental push just in case it will move, but I'm presuming it won't.
Yeah, you can try a strength check.
Yeah, well, why not, just for the hell of it?
Yeah, it's so heavy, and it's grooved in. You kind of saw when they were hoisting it up that it's wider than the wall, right? It's like kind of built into the wall, so it's slid down. You're not gonna push it through stone like that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
You
won't
do
share
as
this
you,
with the others yet, though.
as you're pushing, though, you kind of look down. In the dim, flickering light.
he'll turn round to... He sort of looks down and looks at the floor and looks puzzled for a moment and then says, Professor, could you come and have a look at this for a sec?
Of course. What seems to be the issue?
And Jack will point out that there are sort of, if you look down on the ground, there are sort of chips of limestone that are sort of scattered across the floor. But yeah, they don't look like they're fresh, but they don't look like part of the initial tomb, if I'm reading this right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what do you make of that, Professor?
Well, he's not exactly an archaeologist, Jack, says Olivia. And she walks forward and starts looking at it.
You can try an archaeology check, and yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, as far as Jack's concerned, he was never that interested in what anyone actually did. He was
Right.
sort of like, I'm coming along, I'm getting paid, I'm going to bugger off at the end of it. And he's not paid you two that much attention. It's mainly been about the person who's going to pay him.
Damn. This too may not be pristine. Someone may have already been here. Within the past century, anyway. But, still, we haven't heard anything about it. It's possible that there's still something of significant value to be gleaned from the place.
Well, it better be.
Maybe we'll find the remains of the previous party.
It's not something to joke about, Professor.
Who said anything about joking?
Jack was chuckling slightly, but he stops at that.
And when Olivia comes over, Liv comes over close to the doorway, the slab, you can see there are sigils, odd sigils carved into the stone on the back side.
Well, Professor, what of these? I don't think she reads hieroglyphics.
It's actually, this is an occult check.
Oh.
Ah,
These are not hieroglyphics. You would recognize if they were proper Egyptian hieroglyphics. They are not.
so occult.
You don't know what they are.
She called me over, so I'll make the same roll.
You can try. No, the professor is not sure either.
Well, this is neither Egyptian, nor German, nor English, I can tell you that.
I don't recognize them at all. She turns to the wall next to them. Did the symbols look similar on the wall and on the door, or are the symbols that were on the wall recognizably hieroglyphic?
So the stuff along the walls are normal Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Let's read it.
Yeah. All right.
It's very strange. Makes me wonder if someone different, perhaps the later excavation, left this on the slab, but I don't know. It seems I would recognize the language.
I feel like if we're going to stay by the door for too long, we're not going to get much explored in here.
Oh, I agree. I would just like to give the professor a moment to examine the wall and see if he can make out anything, any indicator of to whom this tomb was dedicated.
It's a bit hard to read in the dark, but let's see. It seems to be standard funerary affairs here, litanies. Although, if you look into these cracks, I don't think these walls are very thick. If we needed to, we could probably break it down, go through. Maybe a few inches at most.
But we'd be just breaking into
There's
the
a
cave.
cavity. There's something on the other side.
Ah. Oh, I see. She kind of goes to one of the cracks that he was pointing out. Is there any air or draft coming through?
You don't feel any.
What about the candle? Is it moving?
That's a good question. No, actually, it is not moving. A tiny, tiny bit, maybe, but it's not moving consistently in any direction, indicating a breeze.
It may not be any outside air coming in there anyway, but something to keep in mind. Let's see just how deep this passage goes.
After you live.
Stay close. I certainly won't want to leave anyone behind in here.
And as you go along, you can see that those limestone chips become fewer and fewer as you take steps. They're really kind of concentrated at the entrance.
How big are the chips?
Oh, just a few inches across and thin,
Can I pocket one for later?
of course.
Preserve.
Yeah, and Liv, when you get here, you notice to your left and your right, the cracks there are much larger. Yeah, they run much further up and down the wall.
She'll again kind of test for any moving air. Maybe, I mean, how big is bigger? Like, could you get any light in the next room? Or whatever's beyond it?
It's really hard to see because they aren't very wide cracks. They're just, you can kind of see just enough that you can kind of see the edge and tell that the plaster is probably just maybe 3 inches thick, and then there's some dark cavity beyond.
There's definitely something beyond. Why? That seems very strange.
And I'm not one to have explored any pyramids myself, but in my research and the things I've collected, I'm fairly certain there have been secret rooms in other pyramids or other burial chambers. Is there not?
Oh, certainly. But it would seem that beyond this is something quite large. What's this up ahead?
That looks like an old wooden table. And you see just at the limit of your candlelight as you're approaching the faint glimmer of gold or bronze.
Oh, now, what's this?
And as you approach that, you can see that this table is wood. It is very, very old. It is probably millennia old. It's rotted very badly. But next to it is this golden little chest, a little funerary chest, which looks Egyptian. Nothing you haven't seen before in general.
Well, if someone has been here before, they certainly didn't take everything with them. Have a look.
Oh, Edith will crouch down a bit, look at the. You said it's a chest of some sort?
Yes, it's a little funerary chest. It's about a 1.5 feet wide and about a foot deep.
She'll attempt to kind of open it up and see what's inside.
Yes, it's actually very easy to open up. Inside, you just find a few beads in there. They're essentially funerary beads. They might be worth a little something, but they're nothing extraordinary. Liv would immediately recognize that their value is they're very ordinary. The gold chest would be worth more than the beads by far.
How heavy does it look?
The chest looks to be quite heavy, actually. You would not want to cart that thing around.
Yes, well,
It's very
with
soft.
this chest means that our enterprise won't be a complete loss, but we'll have to get it out once they get the stone moved. Is it marked in any way, the chest?
It's a little bit scratched in a few places, but there's nothing, there's no hieroglyphics on it that are anything unusual. It seems very, very typical of other digs you have seen, if not witnessed yourself. And as you get closer and you're looking at this chest, you also see there's a wall in the back here. And it is a plastered wall, and you see that in the lower corner the plaster has been broken through, and there's a hole that is roughly human sized, like you could get down on your hands and knees and crawl through it without any difficulty. And as you kind of look at it, you can see also it looks like there are drag marks in the kind of the dirty floor to where the chest and table are. So it gives the impression someone dragged these out through that hole.
Huh. Well, it does look like someone's broken through the plaster here.
And there are more hieroglyphics on the plaster wall there, though they're a little damaged in some places.
Professor, can you make something out here?
You can try reading them with his hieroglyphics. He studies them for a minute.
It appears to be describing a king, no, a pharaoh, of great powers, magic, I suppose. Hard to say. Actually, not hard at all. It appears he's smiting his enemies and anyone who would not suffer his rule.
Oh, well, that sounds like the standard sort of hogwash that they typically put. But no indication of which pharaoh.
I'm not seeing a name here.
Well, let's see what's beyond the room. With these drag marks here on the floor, looks like people have perhaps raided this tomb before, but
So you're crawling through? That's a little hole.
she's gonna start. She'll start to peer inside, I guess, first.
Yeah, so you can see a little bit beyond. Your immediate impression peering through is you can sort of see the some piled up like little burial treasures. And in one case over here, you see kind of these little telltale arches that tell you it's like probably a little funerary. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Hold on a second. It's like a funerary couch, very common in tombs.
Her tone brightens upon seeing that they're still relics. Yes, beyond here there's quite a bit to sort through. Let's see, yes. Would someone hold the candle? At that sound, she backs up just a little bit. What was that?
Back behind you, you heard the sounds of, well, it sounded like part of the ceiling kind of not caving in certainly, but being disturbed.
Okay.
Probably just the workers trying to get down to us, Mum.
Yes, certainly. I do think we should be cautious. This place might not be entirely stable. Would someone hold the candle while I squeeze through? I'd hate to drop it.
I'll take it off of her. How big is this hall?
The hole, as I said, is just a little bigger than a human size. So any of you, none of you are particularly giant. You could all squeeze through that hole pretty comfortably, but you have to get down on hands and knees to get through it.
All right. Once I'm through, maybe try to hand me the light or something. Anyway, I'm going to take it slow. Actually, no, come here. She's going to light another candle, just in case one of these goes out.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
And we'll put it out once we're all in the same room. And she'll very gingerly crawl through, taking it slow, trying not to be too harsh on the walls, in case the place is unstable.
Okay. You don't have to roll for that. It's just time to get through. But you do notice, it is pretty thick like that. It's a couple of feet that somebody had to tunnel through this plaster. It was very thickly done.
She gets through, takes a little look around. Well, it felt relatively stable. You're all welcome to follow me through.
Well, I'll go next then. And Edith steps up and she'll take off her hat and get on her hands and knees and kind of crawl through very gently.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully she doesn't bang up her knees too badly.
Mm.
Jack?
Do you want me to hold the candle while you go through, sir?
Well, you're a bit bigger than me, so if you can fit, I should be able to. So go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. Through to about there.
Yep, he's made it through.
And then I'll follow suit.
Okay. You have...
Excuse me, Jack. I need you to move.
Oh, sorry, sir. Excuse me, Mum. I'll move over there.
I think the first thing Olivia would be interested in was that funerary divan or...
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it looks to be in pretty well preserved shape, actually. And as you all sort of step in and there's a little more candlelight now, you can see that there are a number of what look to be pretty well preserved artifacts in here. There's the couch, of course. There are chairs, tables, stone tablets. You see little statuettes all about. Even a couple musical instruments, vases, some sealed jars, bowls, ostrich feather fans, a couple of small chests that you would imagine probably contain small jewelry trinkets. And over in the corner here, you see there's kind of a disassembled chariot made of gold, which is also pretty typical of a pharaoh's tomb. And over here, a rowboat. Again, also not completely strange. And I'd like somebody to make an archaeology check.
Not a great roll.
and you can push. Some rolls you can push if you want to spend more time looking around. You can do that if you're willing to spend extra time, which means you can roll again. The problem is if you push and fail a second time, then some more negative consequence happens from just failing.
I think I am going to push.
Okay.
I think maybe she's just so excited at first. Nothing's really processing. She's just kind of looking around with wonderment.
Right.
Looking to Edith with an excited grin. And then she tries to get down and get serious.
Okay.
That's a lot better.
Edith is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is this right? These artifacts. I mean, yes, the items themselves are not unusual to be found in a funeral chamber, but I don't recognize the period that they're supposed to be from. I mean, it's very odd. I think this is it. This is going to create quite the stir among the academic community. This is a real find, Miss Clemente.
That's just fabulous, Liv. I'm beyond excited. I'll be able to tell all the ladies and gentlemen of my club that I helped discover all this. I'm very pleased. Very, very pleased.
Yes. The Clement expedition, I think, will be spoken of for quite some time.
Oh, I do think so myself.
I tell you what, those grave robbers were a bit rubbish, weren't they? Came in all this way, got out somehow, and then, didn't take much. They broke a few things. Oh, look. It points out a few things that have just been smashed.
Well, they probably didn't have the backing of laborers or anything like that to cut through any stone. But once laborers get that slab up so we can exit and they can come in, well, we can get all of this out.
Yes, I'm sure that there's a story behind it, and it's possible we'll never know what that story is. But their misfortune is our lucky day. She just walks around, examining everything a little bit at a time.
Miss Clement, she's going to be, as kind of other people go off, and she's looking down at some of the artifacts. She's going to snag a few of the smaller pieces, gold pieces, and put them away in her pocket.
Stephen is.
And then your light source starts to leave.
Yeah, and she comes back.
Do you, Professor, could you look on the walls and see if any of the writing here is enlightening in any way? I do see some markings on the back and on the sides.
You can try a hieroglyphics roll. Yeah, now that you've had a little bit closer look, you see a lot of repeating information, but you start noticing a little bit more.
Oh, Miss Clement. I hate to say this, but I don't recommend smoking in here. Until they get us out of here, it might use up some of the oxygen.
Oh, fully. She didn't lit it yet, but she was about to, and she kind of puts it away. That's a disappointment.
In that case, Mum, should we go down to one candle?
Yes, just give me a moment. Yes, you're right, but let's just get a good look at the room first. And then she... Okay, go ahead.
This is a bit odd. This is supposed to be some sort of tomb, but the Pharaoh, according to this, rejected the concept of an afterlife and its value. Why would you have a tomb if you didn't care for that sort of thing?
Tradition, probably.
Yes, it's perhaps once he was gone, the people decided to just hold with tradition. Once you're dead, it's hard to give edicts. What's this over here? It looks
yes, and
like
you
an
see that
animal.
you see at the limit of your light too. This is a sealed doorway, clearly, with
Edith.
another stone slab. And as you're kind of looking closer there, yeah.
Edith takes a step back, a bit kind of mouth agape. Oh my, these are grotesque. She points to the guards there. Look here. It looks to be mummified men impaled on these spears to make them stay upright.
You're right. This one appears to have had an actual crocodile's head attached to it.
This one looks to be some sort of jackal.
The weapons that it's carrying is, well, it looks to be in remarkably good shape.
Yes, I see here. This is fascinating. Maybe this is a sealed doorway. It's some sort of maybe a puzzle of some sort.
After getting up on tiptoe to kind of look at the head, Olivia starts to back away a little bit, swallowing hard. It's a bit different seeing it, things like this in person.
Oh, yes, it's
Rather
fascinating.
than in a book. Yes, it's a bit gruesome though.
Edith reaches up and she touches the weapon. The jackal-headed man's holding the sickle sword that seeing if it's movable in any way.
Liv starts to scratch at the side of her neck a little bit with one arm crossed over her chest, the other one kind of scratching at her neck a little bit nervously, perhaps.
Professor, you might want to hold up a little bit there. We should probably not split up in here, and don't want to get lost in the dark or anything.
It's just... It doesn't seem as though people were here too long ago. Maybe a decade at most.
Yes, that's what I would estimate.
Yeah, you have to be very careful threading your way over all the rubble. Someone broke through this wall here, where the professor is.
On casual observation, does it look like someone broke in or out?
Make a spot hidden check for me. Actually, I'll do it for you, and then
Please do.
You won't know. You think it appears that it was broken from here in, out of this room, but you're not 100% sure of that.
So from here into
Yes.
this room, basically?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. We should be careful. I don't know if maybe whoever is supposed to be the tomb of is behind this wall in particular. Maybe whoever tried to break in is trying to circumvent this.
Yes.
And Liv, you're pretty sure based on looking at the entrance there, it's pretty clear that someone broke from here outward.
It does appear that this readily visible part of the tomb might be only a small part of what's actually here from the cracks in the hallway and this here. Perhaps we might need something to break through ourselves. Jack, why don't you grab one of those scimitars from one of those statue men, the mummified figures. They look to be relatively good and might be helpful in breaking through or clearing out trouble.
Jack sort of gives this figure a very sort of dubious look, and then
Yeah, and when you get close and can see, I'm going to let you take a look there, because now you're kind of up close and can see them.
oh bloody hell! These heathen statues, it's just not right. Oh well. He sort of gives a sort of grimace and then reaches up and tries to gingerly take this weapon.
You can try a dexterity check for me.
Okay.
Yes, be very careful with it.
Yeah. You dislodge the scimitar, or it's not really that. Actually, Liv would recognize it as a kopesh, which is a more it's not a smooth angle. It's like it has a couple sharp angles on it.
It's the other way to a scimitar, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes, and the blade is on the inside of the curve rather than the outside. But you manage to pry it loose from those mummified hands.
All right, Mum. I've got it, but I don't know how much use it will be getting through a stone door.
And this plaster along the walls back there, it seemed quite thin. I'm sure that blade would have no problem with it at all. She looks over at the other statue consideringly, but then starts scratching the side of her neck again and then backing away. I think one of those blades should be enough. I want to keep my hands free anyway.
All right, stand back. He goes over to. This is the door you wanted, right?
Well, let's see where this tunnel goes before we start just busting through the walls.
Jack looks a little
McCready,
bit disappointed. He was there.
He was getting ready to wind up.
Yeah.
Professor, would you care to lead the way this time?
Okay.
As you enter this room, immediately the sense is it's strangely disturbing. The outer room was a little odd, Liv, compared to what you have seen before, but here you get a very strange feeling, like it just is not a typical room. It's shaped normally, but the air, the impression is all wrong. The depictions on the wall, which you expect to find in any burial chamber, are disturbing. There's depictions on this wall. There's depictions on the south wall, which you obviously can't see in the drawing here. And you can see a skeleton kind of prostrate on the ground on a little mat. It looks like an old, could have been a ragged sort of mat from some ancient time. It's just been sort of some dusty mat.
Liv walks forward immediately. The skeleton is the thing that draws her attention the most. Well, this is odd. The Egyptians that I'm aware of didn't usually just leave bodies lying around willy-nilly. She kind of starts to walk around it gingerly, seeing... Wait, what's this? Is this a cross?
This over here at the end is a rather large, about a 5-foot tall, golden icon of some sort. You recognize the shape as generally that of an ankh, which is a pretty typical symbol, but it is purposely inverted by design.
Oh, I didn't recognize it. It's because it's upside down. And deliberately so. That's odd. Why would they do that? The Ankh, it means eternal life, and this one is inverted. Deliberately, it would appear. Is there anything about the body and its placement that stands out?
So the skeleton is clearly not ancient. That much is immediately clear. And in fact, right nearby, you see a small satchel that must be, fairly modern, and also a sack, which, while a little ragged and moth-eaten, as it were, is also can't really be ancient. It would be far more deteriorated if it was.
Oh, here now. This corpse certainly doesn't belong here. This must have been one of the looters. She kneels down by the sack. Would someone care to examine the satchel that it's carrying on the other side?
This must have been where they stole the real treasure, right? They came through here, didn't touch any of the gold in the last room. They must have been carrying so much from here that they couldn't carry anymore.
I find that when it comes to gold, people find a way.
Regarding the Ankh, would Edith maybe know anything regarding why an Ankh would be inferred?
You can make a history or occult check, or hieroglyphics, which I know you don't have.
Woohoo!
Looking closely at the Ankh, you see those details.
Edith takes a moment to kind of crouch down a bit, look harder. The actual Ankh itself. She's more, I think, fascinated than anything. No, this Ankh is, of course, sure, a few of you know, it's representation of life, but being inverted, and you see here there's some sort of tentacles almost that are coming from it.
Yeah, they're carved into the Ankh, and they're very subtle, but when she points them out, Liv, you can see them in the candlelight when you hold the candle closer. And you need to make a sanity check. I'll send you the same thing.
Oh. She looks at the tentacles and swallows hard again. Starts scratching at that same spot on her neck, which is getting a bit red. I was expecting to find something new and groundbreaking, but there's something about all this that it should be at least a little familiar.
Well, we probably are coming upon maybe something that hasn't even been discovered yet, because these grave robbers were unable to get any of this out, any of the discoveries. It's now come to us. I think this Ankh itself would be a fascinating find.
Yes, I'm sure you're right. Still, she backs away from it, almost unconsciously, and kneels down and turns her attention to that little satchel that the person's holding.
The sack or the satchel?
The sack, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the sack
sack's
is on
the
your
side.
side of the body. When you pick it up, you immediately feel that it's kind of heavy. And you can feel the sound of clinking and like it's a bag of coins or something. And when you look inside, you see it's actually, which would be very strange. You wouldn't expect to find coins in an Egyptian tomb. Inside, it's not, but it is. They're little gold trinkets and bronze jewelry.
Does it look like, this Egyptian period, like it would have come from this tomb?
You can try an archaeology check again. You're quite certain that it is old and from ancient times, but like the rest of the things that you were seeing in the outer chamber, they really don't line up with any known period. The artistic style and the techniques are strange.
She sort of sorts through the trinkets, holding them up to the light of the candle. I believe these came from the tomb, because, frankly, I don't recognize the style of any of them. I suppose this person found them here and then never found his way out.
Strange that he died right here. Oh, Professor Jack, do you mind checking this satchel?
While the professor checks that, I'm gonna be. I look a little bit distracted. Jack looks a bit distracted when Edith asks that, because he's listening out to see if he can hear any more signs of the workers breaking through in that other passageway we came in from.
Okay. Make a listen check.
Nope.
A fumble. So, you hear what sound to be like almost beyond the limits of hearing. Just some kind. It sounds like breathing to you. And I need you to make a sanity check.
Okay.
Yeah, you lose a point of sanity.
Blue, right?
It's impossible that someone is breathing out there, but you feel certain you hear something just at the limit of your hearing.
So Jack will call out, "Hello, is there anyone out there? Could someone bring a candle?"
Yes, what is it? Do you see the workers or hear the workers?
I could have sworn I heard breathing, as if someone was just standing out there, creeping about.
Oh,
Somebody holding his sword out in front of him.
these tunnels, they play tricks like that. Echoes,
Okay. Could I ask a favour? Could I take one of those candles? I just want to keep an eye on this, and just in case someone's out there playing silly buggers. Don't like this place, it gives me the creeps.
Oh, all right, you can have mine.
Thank you, Mum.
Before heading over to check out the satchel, the professor's looking at the wall, really thoroughly examine it and its contents, and you can hear from him. He just chuckles a bit, and then he looks around, realizing that was kind of a weird thing to do. He says, yes, satchel.
It was something amusing.
What? Animals, don't worry about it. What was this? You wanted me to look at something?
Oh, yes, the satchel there, Professor if you could pause your laughter for but a moment.
Right.
Okay. So the doctor picks up the satchel, and you can see there are several things inside. As the doctor goes rummaging through.
Sasha
Describe
Connor.
You can describe what they see. If you pull things out or not, that's up to you.
Yeah, he's rummaging through it. You can see him pull out a trowel, a flask that he puts back in there, a stick of dynamite.
And when you pick that up, you can feel there's some liquid still inside, kind of sloshing around in there.
Well, let's open it up. Take a sniff.
Yeah, it's a silver flask. The silver is in pretty decent shape, so it couldn't have been down here too long. And you unscrew the lid. You know, it's like a liquor flask. You unscrew the lid. It's a little tight and hard to get off at first, but you open it up, and it's open. And there's the hole is actually maybe a little, is a good couple, maybe a centimeter and a half wide.
Yeah, take a whiff.
It smells dank in there. It does not smell like liquor, which you would, have it possibly expected. It has like a stale water smell.
It's not alcohol. I'm bored.
Is there perhaps an inscription on the flask? And she starts also looking at the item, seeing if she can kind of place when they would have been manufactured.
Okay. The only there are engraved initials on the flask, SK. And you examine it, and someone can appraise.
I have a little bit of appraise.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll hand it to her while I continue to dig through the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Careful with that dynamite.
Oh, we could use it on if we need to.
I know who this belonged to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I recognize the make of this flask. My father had one. It's German manufacture, 1914, I believe. I've actually seen this exact model, I suppose you'd call it.
1914.
Yes, about 12 years ago.
But
So this person had to have been here. Well, that's quite the limit. Possibly much more recently, depending on how long he'd had the flask.
strange. Why would this kind of body be down here? We've only seen evidence of quite long ago. This is concerning indeed.
Right. Perhaps he was here alone and just thought to loot the place. Never made it out. Got trapped. Although, I don't know. We may never figure it out. Does he have any injuries?
You can look at that 1 second, because you can see the professor is starting to flip through. It is in German. Can you make a German check for me? All right. I can show a typical page to anyone who can't read German, and then I will share with you. some information as you flip through, Howard.
I can kind of understand it. I know.
Oh, good. So you have a little. Yeah, I mean, if you can understand it, then you have a little bit of. You
I
might,
took high school German, just like.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell him about the passport, because I want to see where he's been.
Okay. And I'm giving you the translated pages here. Hold on a second. So you can start looking at those if you want. Okay, yeah, and you glance at the passport. He has been to Germany. He was Germany departed in early 1916. Before that, he had been to Paris. He had been to France and England, and most recent was entry into Egypt in middle of 1916. So that would have been during the Great War. He arrived.
I'm going to be reading this. You can all go about whatever it is you're doing. You can see I'm reading a journal.
And maybe we should look at that that entranceway there. You're right, Jack.
Aye, Mum. I mean, don't take this the wrong way, Professor, but I fought in the Great War. I'm not gonna cry over one more dead German. A bit more, casual racism there.
While Jack is standing there at the corner, is he looking at this southern wall? I assume there's a mural on there.
He's mainly actually just looking back the way he came. He can't shake the thought that there's someone out there.
Okay.
He's not necessarily thinking something, he's thinking someone. But he's thinking that maybe someone sneaked down after them and is up to no good. So he's still standing there and listening, because he's quite convinced someone's going to come out of the darkness after them.
Okay. And does he still have that Kopesh in hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so now.
Yeah.
After reading over the professor's shoulder for a minute, making out probably 1 out of 3 words on there, kind of getting the gist of that it might be a journal of, this person and whoever he was with, because there's a mention of men in there, and their discovery of this place. She instead lets the professor do what he's better at, which is translate German, and she looks at the picture on the back wall curiously.
So, this wall.
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like a pyramid and some sort of a storm. It looks almost like water, but perhaps sand?
So yes, you start studying that wall. And what are Jack and Mrs. Clemente doing? I keep wanting to say Mrs. Clemente the dilettante.
Mrs. Clemente, she looks to Jack. What are they reading and such? Why don't we look in the other room and get a good look at that wall? I'm sure we can probably open it up, maybe a little bit.
Sounds like a good idea, Mum. I'd rather be active than just standing here peering into the darkness. It makes your imagination go funny.
Agreed.
If you'll follow me, and you'll start
Of course.
leading the way with the candle.
Watch your step. It's a bit rubbly.
Aye, Mum. It is. Head towards this one here.
It's make a spot hidden check for me, Jack, as you go through.
Nope.
Okay. Everything seems to be as it was.
Cool. Okay. So, go up to this door. Does it look like it's plaster, like the other one?
No, it actually looks stone, almost like the stone entrance door.
This one's a bit tougher, ma'am. I'm not sure I'm going to get through this.
I don't have to hit it. We can just maybe take a look around, see if there's some sort of, I don't know, handle. I used to do a lot of puzzles when I was home alone with the child. But maybe there's something.
She's gonna look around.
Secret passages and whatnot. All right.
Yes, it's like a bona fide adventure.
Oh, wonderful. He's trying to sound enthusiastic, and but yeah, he'll have a look around as well. But I guess she'll be doing most of the searching.
All right. Excuse me. Why doesn't Mrs. Clemente make a spot hidden check to look around?
Yes.
You're examining this this door, and I'll send you a quick little note.
Oh, and Jack isn't giving his full attention to the door. He's still keeping an eye out round the room, because he's still not entirely convinced that whether there's someone else here. He thinks it's probably his imagination, but he's not taking any chances. So he's probably making Edith a little bit nervous.
Oh. Jack, look here. She points down to the ground. You see, it looks as though the stone slides towards us. It seems it's been done before. I'm not sure when, but maybe we could find some sort of pulley system or some way to slide it out, yes?
Aye, I see what you mean, Mum. Okay.
Yeah, you can see there the floor is scraped up and kind of grooved and scored where something has slid along it, and it does kind of look like maybe that stone door slid, out across the floor like that, all the way out to about here.
Ah, okay. Be heavy to move, though. Is there any sign of sort of scuffing on the rock around the edge, the stone around the edge of it?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
It's definitely not perfectly smooth. It's not a totally tight, sealed fit.
Is there any sign of anything being used to sort of like pry it open at any point, though? Because that would have made some damage.
You actually do see signs of someone probably sticking something like a crowbar in between and trying to pry and breaking away parts of the stone. Because the fit, as I said, it's not really tight. There's definitely in places, and it's a little irregular. It's not a perfectly carved stone. There are some places where there's a gap of almost like 2 inches. Or not 2 inches, but maybe a couple centimeters, like definitely enough to be able to get a pry bar inside and start working at it.
Okay. No, I don't believe I've got one. I mean, I've got the Kopesh, but that's going to be softer metal, I presume. I can always call out and see if anyone's got anything. Hold on, just check the character sheet. Yeah, I've got a knife, not great. Yeah, I'll call out to Jack will call out to the other room. Professor, and Mum, have either of you got any kind of crowbar or something we could use as one?
Olivia kind of startles and turns away from the wall where she had been just walking back and forth, her nose almost pressed against it, while she wrings her hands and scratches her.
What was that?
What was that?
Did you hear that?
Professor, did it come from the direction of those guys?
Yes, and they actually heard it better than you. You heard only a very faint.
What do you...
Did it come from beyond that wall?
I told you all not to get separated, Professor. let's go catch up
You're
with them.
not sure. It's definitely not in the room right there with you.
Okay, Jack's gonna take Edith and to try and pull her backwards towards the others, and he's gonna drop the Kopesh and draw his revolver.
Edith is gonna pick up the Kopesh and kind of put it in front of her. What's that?
What are you doing?
I don't know. We heard something, and I don't know what it is.
Get behind me, Mum.
Yes.
Everyone, I think we should stop playing with all this stuff and head back towards the entrance.
I
Something
agree.
of note. The man that we found in there is betrayed by the laborers he had with him. They killed his friend.
That's. Did we do background checks on the laborers? By the way, Liv.
I think we can maybe leave that for another time, unless they're waiting for us by the entrance. But I'd rather face them than whatever's making noise down here in the dark.
It's probably just I don't know, some sort of tomb rodents. That's a thing, right, Professor?
It could be a cave in up ahead in that direction. Were you trying to knock down the wall?
Oh, we're just examining it, not knocking it down. Just seeing if there's a mechanism, which we found. I don't know what this is.
What do you mean, a mechanism?
It maybe not a mechanism, but it looks like the door does slide towards. Oh, I don't like this.
We should probably get back. And Mum, I did do some background checks on the labor, but you know, these countries, it's hard. You just have to ask the reputation. There's not much you can do. I think they're good enough lads, really.
Hey, yes, let's be careful. Steps forward. After you, Jack.
Yeah, can you follow me, please, Mum?
Yes,
Let's
yes.
everyone stay close.
She puts a left hand on his shoulder, right on the Kopesh.
Yeah, one of you can grab that thing if you want. Might make you feel a little bit more safe.
So Edith is grabbing the Kopesh, is that correct?
Yeah, she has it in her hands, and she's got her other hand on Jack.
Yep. And what is Liv doing and the professor?
I think Liv is following them, but she keeps looking over her shoulder at the direction of the sound, looking very troubled. Her arms show, red marks from where she's been kind of nervously rubbing and scratching them. Yes, this place. There's something wrong here. There's no record of this pharaoh, but she just shakes her head. The picture in the other room, she just shakes her head.
It's just being underground in the dark, Mum. It'll play tricks with you. Come on, we need to get some daylight.
Exactly.
As you say that, you see just at the bare limit, you can hear this. It must be this stone door, and it's starting to move.
Oh, my character is backing the heck up.
What is everybody doing at this moment?
Edith scrambles behind Jack and just holds a Kopesh over her head. And I don't know what it is, but...
And Liv calls out in Arabic, Is that you men? If she knows the foreman's name, Muhammad or whatever, she'll say, "Is that you?"
Jack's gonna call out, "If anyone's playing silly buggers around there, you're gonna get a bullet."
And you can see that this kind of pushes out to where it is now. So as it is pushing out, what it looks like Jack is moving closer and around it.
Yeah, because I want to be between this and both the ladies and the professor, if I can.
Okay.
Can I see anything from this angle?
Yes, actually you can, and I'm going to show you what you see, but no one else sees it. It is in your journal, at the very bottom of your journal.
Yeah, it's gonna take a minute to load.
Yep. And I will require a sanity check when you're done reading or looking at it.
I'll do the check first because it's gonna take forever.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because you're on
Yeah.
a hotel Wi-Fi. Sorry.
It took me like 10 minutes to read the journal just because how long it took to load them.
Do we have any other arms? Liv says, her voice shaking, kind of looking around the room for a knife or just something she could pick up and smack someone with.
I have a pocket knife in my satchel, if you'd like to take it.
Jack sort of with the pocket knife he's holding out. He goes, "That's not a knife," and he pulls out his combat knife and like holds it sort of handle first and goes, "That's a knife."
I
And I
got
can see that, the entire thing.
Yes, it's right behind the pillar. It's
Jack, get back!
Pushing it.
I think as he says
No.
that, Olivia has reached forward to take the knife from Jack.
Yeah, she's reaching to take the knife, and you hear the professor yell, "Jack, jump, get back."
Okay. Jack will grab see if he can take the ladies with him. Just like try and grab everyone and jump backwards.
What about the candle?
Candle could be a casualty.
And you hear that from the other side of the slab.
Oh, I think we are definitely
What the
walking backwards.
blazes? What in the blazes is that?
It's just got to be an echo from the caverns. Jack, give me that knife.
I'm gonna reach for a stick of
Yeah,
dynamite.
I'll
Give me-
hand her the knife.
Give me the candle. Give me the candle, Jack.
And what is Howard doing?
Some kind of creature.
I'm reaching for the dynamite.
Okay. The dynamite is there.
Yeah. And
Make a demolitions check for me.
I don't see that skill. It's
probably don't
disguise,
have it.
dodge, drive.
Yes, because you don't have it. Okay, so just make a D100 check straight off the die thing, roll 20 die. Or actually, no, never mind that. Make an intelligence check instead. I think any of so certainly you, now that you're you get the dynamite in your hand. Dynamite going off in this chamber, you can easily see the whole ceiling coming down on you with an explosion. But I'm just as a
That thing has a gaping maw, yeah?
yes.
And he's roaring at us?
No, not running. It's
No, it's a
pushed.
roaring.
Oh yeah, it's kind of roaring. It your sense is that maybe it's like stretching.
How big is this gape, this hole that he's creating with his mouth? That's what I'm asking here.
It is big enough that it could fit around your head, but not much.
And how
bigger than
far
that.
would you say he is from me?
I would say he is 8 feet away from you.
And in my past experience as this human being known as Howard McCready, how good is my throw?
You're throwing. Your ability to throw. I would say you're about as good as the next guy, which is to say, not very well practiced.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
Alright,
Solidly
fine. I don't know, man. Fine, he'll panic and he'll reach for dynamite and he thinks twice.
Professor, I really wouldn't do that.
Yes, let's
Leave.
get down that tunnel. Back the way we came.
Edith's gonna grab the candle from Jack.
It comes around the corner, and now you all can see it.
Nope.
it kind of, inches its way around. So I just shared with everyone. Oh, it wouldn't let me do that. Hold on. There we go. Now you can get an
Oh,
idea of
no.
what it looks like.
Ooh.
Oh no, that's big.
It is.
Sanity checks.
Yes, definitely sanity checks for everyone who hasn't already made one, which is the doctor, of course. If you succeed, you only lose 1 sanity.
I don't think I've made one for
No, you did not. Just the professor. He's the
Oh,
only
so
one
that-
that
yeah.
tried, because he's already seen it. Well, I think you all keep your heads more or less. You all
Pretty
lose,
normal.
so you lose 1 sanity. So you react. However, it's still a sanity loss. So it's there's no way it's not unnerving as it comes into the professor's candlelight. What does everybody do the instant it comes around?
Edith screams. She's gonna try and take the candle away from Jack and just start booking it to the hole.
Does Jack let her take the candle?
Yeah, he won't be resisting because he can't believe what he's seeing. He's probably just going to be emptying his revolver into this thing,
Okay.
and he'd just be yelling and shooting.
Okay, so then Mrs. Clemente can try a dexterity check with the candle. Okay, she manages to grab the candle with shaky fingers. So she has now got the light source. So I understand Jack is going to start opening up in a second here. What about the professor and Olivia?
I mean, if we're not going to try blowing this dude up, we're going to run.
Up to you. This is.
What direction are you running? Are you running back out through there? Okay. I need you to attempt a dexterity check then through the rubble.
Easy.
Okay.
You said
You make it through just fine. So you can
Like a gazelle.
get to about here in the short amount of time that is playing out. And Olivia, you're pulling away, it looks like.
She's gonna try tugging on Edith. Quickly, back the way we came. I think it's too large. I think it's too large to fit through the way we came.
Right, you're right. Let's just leave.
And I will let Jack take shots. So this is the way shooting will work. You can take up to 3 shots with your revolver. However, if you take more than 1, every shot will have a penalty die. Also, your light sources are being removed. So
Yes.
you are going to have a penalty die already shooting into the relative darkness over there.
Yes.
So
Okay.
1
It
shot
won't be
at
really-
1 penalty, or 2 or 3 shots at 2 penalty dice.
It would be sensible to just take 1 shot, but he's not thinking rationally at the moment. He's just going to fire all 3 because
right.
he just wants this thing to go away.
Then I see that. So okay, go ahead and you can do 3 shots. You're looking for and we're looking oh my, even with 2 penalty dice, that first shot.
Ooh. Then should I just do all 3?
Yep, go ahead. Yep. So one of them you are certain because you hear that and you have that, in the flash of the muzzle, you see the thing get hit on the third one. You can see it kind of recoiling just a little bit after your second shot.
Tickled.
Or your first.
Okay. I shot it, but it's not dying. It's not dying.
Just run.
Just come on. Let's all go. How
so,
far can we go?
So I'm gonna take this in small bits. So, Olivia, you could kind of get around to the entrance of the crawl space, but that's as far as you can go. And definitely, Mrs. Clemente can be right behind her. Edith. And
Yeah, I think Liv would be doing that, but making sure not to leave Edith. Liv will be doing that, making sure not to leave Edith behind because she has the light.
Yeah. And Professor, are you following with them?
I'll hang back a little bit for Jack.
Okay.
Thank you.
So then, Jack, what do you do after taking your 3 shots?
Backing away. Just in disbelief at what he's seeing. He's backing away. I don't think he'll be running as yet, but he'll be certainly keeping pace with the others if he can.
Okay. And this thing, you hear it start to, after a pause after your shots and you're backing away, you can hear it start to pound closer. And see it in the limit of the candlelight there.
How far can I back away?
About half to about here or so, if you're backing away.
Yeah.
And I assume the professor is kind of following along with him.
Well, we could get behind me, yeah.
Okay, Olivia, you can try to squeeze through. You want to fail at a size check.
Barely.
Nice.
Okay, so you actually are able to crawl through very quickly. So you can position yourself on the other side of the crawl space. And I assume Edith is coming close on her heels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you can, so that you get there. What about you two guys?
Just follow, yeah. But I'll see if I can take some more shots as I go.
You certainly can. Again, it's with 2 penalty dice, given the darkness, and now there's stuff in the way.
Okay, so we can get to what, about here, I guess? About there?
I didn't see anything.
Oh, sorry, I don't know whether you can see. About halfway to
Yeah,
Edith.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Professor, do you want to move? And then I can maybe have some more wild shots. Yeah, Jack's starting to panic because he's pretty sure he hit it at least once and it's just not having an effect. So he'll empty his revolver now.
Okay. Yeah, they all go off into the darkness.
Yeah. So after this, he'll be trying to squeeze around for ammunition.
Yeah. And you can definitely hear it kind of thudding through pieces, and part of the ceiling starts to dust down over your heads. You feel the room shake as it approaches, and kind of
bloody hell!
And kind of pushes its way through these things. And Jack, you kind of realize, remember when you saw that some of the things were broken?
Oh yeah.
That reminds you of this.
Oh, okay.
Everyone through, hurry.
All right, Edith, you can try to fail a size check.
My hips are too big.
I'm afraid you're kind of, trying to go fast. You're stuck about halfway through.
Her feet are kind of hanging out, and her hands are forward.
In fact, you bump your head going down and in with that extreme, which is kind of the flip of like a fumble. So you take one point of hit point damage, which is your red bubble.
Can Olivia reach through and try to pull on her?
No, it's much too. I mean, yeah, actually, you will be able to, because she's starting to kind of struggle through, and so yeah, you kind of reach in, and Edith, make a sanity check for me.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, you manage to hold on to the candle as you go through. You keep your wits about you when you bump your head and are trying to go down and crawl through. So at least you've managed to keep the candle in your hand. And you two boys, what are you doing? Backing away still?
Yeah, and I'll be trying to reload. Grab my. I think I've got like 4 shots spare, and I'll put those in the revolver.
Yeah, they're in your pocket. So yes, the professor, as you're backing away, you can see Jack reaching into one of his pockets and pulling a bullet out at a time. And well, right now he's he's emptying the chamber, or
A cylinder.
Cylinder, yeah. Thank you.
Is there? Can I throw something at him?
There's lots of little things you can pick up and throw.
I would like to pick up a little thing and throw it.
All right, just do you have a rock thrown macro, which is kind of a catch-all for any little thing you might throw, so go ahead and do that. Again, with it's not quite in your vision right now, so you're kind of throwing it blind at the sound, so 2 penalty dice.
I don't see a rock thrown. The only R is ride.
It's at the very beginning, is all the combat-related stuff. You have
macro
initiative
sheet, I
and
guess.
rock thrown and unarmed are your first.
It should
3
be
macros.
dash rock thrown if it's like mine.
I do see just a throw after swim.
No, it's not in the skills. It's before your attribute
Yeah, there's
checks.
throw. I can use that, right?
Initiative, rock thrown, and unarmed are your very first 3 macros.
You have it near
In
the
whole
start, near
list.
the
very,
top
very
left?
start.
Oh, tap.
Dash rock
Yeah.
thrown.
Yep, so you throw a little something, you hear it shatter off to the side. Clearly did not hit the thing you were aiming at.
Success.
Yeah, I can't hear
Darren?
Darren.
Oh,
You muted, Darren?
Darren?
I am not.
Fuck,
I was
kills the
not
beast.
muted, but
There you go.
this is what
Oh, but the
Discord
beast got
does
you.
from time to time. I just suddenly stop working. So yes, the little clay jar you picked up and threw lands. You can hear it smash against the wall. Clearly not what you were aiming at.
A distraction. Clever.
It might distract it. You do hear it kind of make a noise. When that shatters. So what's going on there? So you're trying to pull.
Yeah, I'm trying to help Edith through,
Yeah.
kind of pulling on her.
Okay.
Suck in your breath, Edith.
So Edith, you can go ahead now and make a strength check with a bonus die because of Olivia's help.
Is it strength?
It is strength now because she's trying to pull her way through. Yeah, she's just having too much difficulty. And now you guys are up to where Edith's feet are sticking out. Assuming you're continuing to back away. And I'd like a dexterity check from you, Jack, to see if how well you're doing on that reload. Okay, well you've managed to clear the cylinder, but you're having trouble feeding the bullet into the cylinder. Your hand keeps shaking, and the chamber.
Baking. Okay. Yeah, you think you can hear him. He's under his breath. He's muttering a combination of half-remembered prayers and old phrases presumably from his drill sergeant. About sort of professionalism and stuff like that. And he's just trying to get this in there. And then he's fumbling around with the bullets.
And you can see it loom into view at the limit of the candlelight there.
Get through, Professor! Get through!
He's looking down, he's seeing that she hasn't made it through.
Yeah,
Help
that's not looking that direction, he doesn't realise.
Push me! I'm stuck!
What does the professor do? And I assume I assume Jack is going to continue to try to reload. Yes.
Jack?
Yes, he is. Yes, sorry.
Okay. All right, Howard. So what are you doing?
All right. So sorry. How far can you move in one go?
It depends on how you're moving. If you're moving carefully or trying to go really fast, if you're going really fast, I'd say about 10 feet total. Half that if you're really being careful. This is sort of like really short segments here because a lot's happening at once.
And how big is this guy blocking the entire way there?
You think you could slip by that side of him, certainly not the other, without kind of vaulting over things and getting all tripped up.
Alright. We're not making it through that hole. No way we're gonna do that in time. So I'm getting ready to try to sprint past him.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, so you're kind of mentally preparing yourself. I'm gonna, when I call for a dexterity check for you to slip by, I'm gonna give you a bonus die when you do that. Okay. So let's go back and see if Edith can get through on her next attempt. While that's happening.
Strength check.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank God.
Olivia kind of pulls you through, though I do need you to make a sanity check, Edith, after being stuck in there. Yeah, that's another sanity gone. One more.
Oh, we need to leave now. No.
Yes. Boys, she's through. Come on, let's see if they've gotten the way free.
All right, so this thing now, it's definitely looking at you, Howard, and kind of thunders toward you. So if you're gonna try slip by, it seems like now is kind of your moment, right? You were preparing for that. So you can go ahead and try a dexterity check with one bonus die.
Okay.
Now, I will allow you to push that. In one-shots, I let people spend luck. You have a limited amount of luck, which I only let you spend 10 luck at most on any given roll. So even with a spend of 10 on that 58, or 68, you wouldn't make it. So you may push this roll if you would like. If you fail, however, you're gonna trip and go down hard.
We gotta push it, man. Come on. So there's a reroll,
Yep,
man?
you just roll dexterity again. You still get the bonus die. Okay. So you slip through and you make it to about here. Since you had to push it, you can get to the other side. And fortunately, do not drop the candle either. And you can see it sort of made a half-hearted swipe at you while you were slipping by. That didn't really come that close, but it has these massive clawed hands, mummified hands that go swiping over you. And Jack, it's right next to you now, and you can make a dexterity check to see if you get at least one bullet in now. I'll give you a bonus die on that since you've been working at it.
Okay.
You get a bullet in, and you have the option of either trying to fish another one out and get ready to get another one in, or you can snap it shut and take a shot. That's up to you.
I'll take a shot because I'm A, it's right up on me, and B, I'm worried about the professor.
Yep.
So if I can, I'll take a step back. Can I take a step back as well?
You
then,
can, sure.
Cool, thank you. And then take one
So
shot.
this will be no penalty dice. The lighting is still a little dim, but it's fairly large, and so it all kind of balances out, I'd say. So this is a normal shot for you. You clip it a little bit. You see a piece in the candlelight. You see a piece of its shoulder kind of tatter and crumble, kind of off in like almost like dust flying off. But you didn't feel like it was a very solid connection there.
Do you want to call that out, Slip?
Sorry?
Slip just put something in the chat. I think it was a good idea to call that out. Character to call it out.
Yeah, well, I was. The doctor says, if you can't get through, maybe set it on fire.
Okay, so what are you two doing on the other side, and what are you two guys doing now? Sort of, we'll play it out a little simultaneously here.
Running away.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to see if they've got the opening cleared at all.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, you guys can get, down a good 10 feet or so down that passage. As you're yelling out, if you can't kill it, put it on fire or whatever. Okay, what are you two guys doing?
Jack?
Jack is yelling, Professor, come on, get through, get through.
This thing is turning to you, Jack, and kind of roars. And you get the distinct impression it's about to rush you.
Oh. Okay. He's fairly brave, but yeah, that this is going to be too much. He's going to try and get through the passageway.
So he's gonna drop down and make a Hail Mary to try to get. Okay, so
Yep.
all right. So first, I'm gonna call this a dexterity check to get down quickly into that hole, and then we'll see if you can wriggle through. All right, so you get down. Are you going? So I'm going to give you a choice here. You can hold on to the gun, which is going to make it a little harder to get through, or you can toss. You can just abandon the gun and go all kind of balls to the wall, trying to get through as fast as you can.
Yeah, abandon the gun. It's not doing any good, really.
Okay, so so you can try a normal size check, and you are trying to fail. All right. You don't get all the way through in this quick motion, but you are at least inside. And what are you doing, Howard?
So I saw the thing going to charge him, right?
Yes.
So I took a couple steps back and started yelling at it. Over here, monster! I don't know if there's another pot to throw. Just trying to
Sure. Yeah.
distract
Make another. There's tons of things around, in easy reach to grab something and throw it. So go ahead and do a throw. All right. So you throw and it misses, but I'll let you make a luck check and see if you're at least lucky enough to get its attention. That's one of your abilities.
It is.
You actually interrupt it. It kind of it starts to sort of lumber forward toward Jack, and he scurries away really quickly. And you're yelling and throwing, and it actually turns towards you and abandons its chase of Jack, and starts to lumber in your direction instead. So, you girls, you can you proceed on, but I'm not gonna. I want to put you on hold for just a second. Jack, you can try to scurry through again. Actually, you made your check, so you get through now. He bought you the time you needed to get through to the other side. So really, the question now is, what is Howard doing?
This thing looks like a wolf, right?
Like a very large one, yes.
All right.
It's definitely taller. It's not twice the size of a man, but it's maybe half again, standing on its feet. You notice that when it moves, it sometimes drops to all fours, and sometimes stands up. It seems to be able to do either.
And it's pretty much all in my way right now.
You'd have a very hard time. You'd have to dodge instead. It would get a free attempt to try to grab or swipe at you if you tried to push through now.
Fuck it, we're running to where it came from. And we'll try to play a little cat and mouse game, loop around.
Okay. Well, you don't even need to do a roll for that. I'll let you go, maybe 8 feet, since you kind of got to maneuver around. So yeah, you can get to the back side of that. And it starts lumbering after you. So let's hold off on Howard now for a little bit and go back out to the entryway, because you hear it kind of rumbling around out there and making roars occasionally. So you guys are all moving down. So you can see Jack them up ahead with their candle, moving down the passage.
I'm trying to be enough away from the passage that the professor could get through if he can make it to there. So I don't want to be blocking him off. But maybe like a few feet away, I'm kind of crouching down and I'm yelling back, Professor! Professor! Come on!
Make a listen check for me.
Okay.
Yeah, you certainly don't hear him, and he doesn't seem to be getting any closer.
Okay.
And you ladies make it down to the entrance, so you can move all the way back there. And to your disappointment or horror, perhaps, you see that the stone slab is still very much in place. And you can both make a sanity check for me, please. Okay, no sanity loss, just disappointment.
Damn.
Maybe break through one of the cracks, the large crack in the wall.
Yes, you're right. And Edith will start. She'll take that khopesh that she has in her one hand, just start smacking it against the crack.
The biggest crack place, I think it was a little farther up.
The biggest crack was up there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's what you do. So you see the two girls, Jack. You can see down at the end. It's not that far away. In their candlelight, you also can see, the slab is still quite in place. Okay. And they kind of hurry back down, saying something among themselves.
Okay, I'll.
And
I
by
haven't
this
given up on
point,
the professor yet, but I'll go and meet them if I can.
Yeah, and by this point, you can hear that the sounds have moved away, and the professor is not coming through at that point.
Oh dear. Look, we need to try to break through the wall.
Yes, yes.
Give it to me, and I'll give it a go. The professor's a
Sure.
brave man. He sacrificed himself to help me escape.
He's a hero, that one. And she passes over the Kopesh. Here. And I hope it can't squeeze through and follow us.
Okay, so Jack is breaking through it. It's not that hard to do with the Kopesh. So you open it up.
So Jack sort of smashes away a bit of this this section of wall, but it doesn't really lead into a whole other room. There's a set of small openings about 2 feet wide and stretching about 4 feet back into the wall, and you can see that in there's a small linen wrapped package in there, and there's a painted wooden dog head that's sort of sticking out the top of those the linen. And Jack sort of stops and in surprise and disappointment and a bit of shock and says, "There's no way out. There's just this bloody thing." And he holds it up.
And you can make an archaeology check, Liv.
Not a very good one. I'll spend luck.
Okay.
Now, does this look like a real dog head?
No, it's a
No.
carved thing.
She looks at it and looks down at the passage they came through, kind of just grabs it out. Reload.
Oh, I dropped my gun. And he sort of holds out the sword in front of him and says, "Look, I don't think the gun was doing much good. This will probably do as much good anyway.
All right,
If
well,
it catches us, we're dead."
keep breaking through the weak spots. And she looks at the dog some more and starts rubbing at her arms and her neck. And her eyes suddenly... She looks over at Edith and the candle and then shakes her head at herself and then shrugs. Oh. Well, I suppose it's worth a try. And she kind of reaches the thing out and puts the head into the candle.
Puts the head into. I'm sorry. I'm
The
not-
little token they found in the wall, she's going to try to burn it.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's it's painted wood, and it's a candle. Just holding a candle to it isn't going to catch it on fire. Although there's the whole thing though, with not the head but the whole package is wrapped in linen. So
Okay.
you could set the linen on fire, and eventually that would consume the head as well.
Yeah, she'll try that. Set it on the floor and
Okay.
say, Edith, like that.
Of course. And she leans down and lights it on fire. What do you think it's gonna do?
I don't know. This is all nonsense. It's probably all just a bad dream.
I just hope it doesn't fill this area up with smoke.
Yeah, the linen catches on fire pretty quickly, and yes, you can feel the air already a little thinner than you remember it out here.
Damn. She's gonna try to use her spade to kind of scoop the whole thing back into that little crevice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and
they
the
break through
ceiling
and-
is starting to shiver in places, and dust is coming down.
Okay, Jack's going to be sort of yelling now as he tries to hack away at this wall. if there's just in case there's any more areas where there's a bit more that we can get through to. He's kind of giving up hope now, but he doesn't know what else to do, so he's carrying on hacking at this.
Okay.
Edith will do the same. Oh, I hope it's not coming.
I think we would hear it. It
I
was
hear something.
I'm sorry. What is Jack doing? He's opening another one.
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't actually have much hope, but he doesn't know what else to do.
Yeah. Okay, so he does that. And as he's doing that, the ceiling is really starting to come down more.
Okay. Are we
and
are
you
we
can-
right under the bit of ceiling that's coming
Yes. Yep.
down? Okay.
So it's getting in your hair and on your shoulders.
Okay. Is there an area? Do we think it's just this section, or is it the whole passageway where it's coming down?
It's mostly just the section where you are. So you kind of opened up another one a little bit right here. These are where the big cracks are.
Okay. Oh, I was thinking about the ceiling. Is the ceiling coming down everywhere in the passage, or just
No,
in a particular area?
mostly just in this area where you are.
Okay. Maybe we should back over here then. I think that might be so yeah, Jack will sort of say, maybe they're digging through. Come on, we should get clear. We don't want to be buried. And he'll
Agreed.
back away here.
Let's get to the door.
maybe we can all push on it.
Pull up or something. Let's try.
Yeah, pushing. Jack would know pushing on it isn't going to do anything because he
I
saw
saw
how
that.
it was, But
Can you wedge the sword in somewhere?
Try and wedge it a little bit, just to, if nothing else, it'll get a little bit of air in, maybe.
Okay.
So try and find something that he can use as a kind of fulcrum, and then try and use the sword to lever up, even if it's just a few inches to lever this slab.
And
Slab up.
what do you think he's going to be able to use as a fulcrum? I'm not sure he has
he's-
anything or.
I have a
doesn't
spade.
Oh yeah.
That would help. Okay, there you go. All right, go ahead and try a strength roll.
Okay, that's going to go. Strength. Oh.
And try a. You can push it if you'd like.
Push it.
Push it.
Do it. Yay.
All right, you lever a little bit. Make a luck check to see if the Kopesh holds.
Oh.
Nope. You start to get the you can feel a little bit of movement, and then the Kopesh snaps in half.
Okay. Did I get any time to yell anything out while it's?
You maybe had a couple of seconds. Yeah.
Okay, so you just yell something out like "help." Just-
Do we hear a
Very
feel a rush of air at all when he gets
You
a
definitely
surprise?
feel a little bit of air come in. Yes. A little rush, and you can kind of you gasp it up quick, and you realize how thin it's been getting in here.
Okay. So Jack will he will sort of back to here, and he'll be facing in this direction, and we can he'll sort of have this broken Kopesh in front of him for all the good it will do, and it's just sort of standing there,
Can we-
and he's still muttering under his breath.
Can we hack away at the ground around the door?
Let's just try it. Maybe we can just... I don't know. We need to try something. Anything.
Try and use my knife, Mum.
Yeah, she'll start to try to
Okay.
loosen some of the ground around it, create
Okay.
some more space.
That's where we will leave you guys then, and go back to Professor, and see what happened to him. So back when we left you, you were running that way. What's your next move here?
All right, so I want to move a little bit forward, put the candle down, So the light's there.
Okay.
Or as far as so for this turn at least, I want to get as far as I can, put the candle back, and get back to the opposite side of the wall. So like there. It's like bam, bam, bam.
Okay, put the candle down.
Like over this general area. Yeah, I'm trying to use it as bait, Hopefully it goes through a light.
I get it, yeah. So about like right there, and then you're kind of doubling back around the block. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you you need to make a stealth check, but I'll give you a bonus die because there's a lot of clutter around to kind of hide behind. Yeah. Okay, you succeed. So you kind of keep yourself interposed between the block and it. And so you're kind of over here, but you're now you're kind of in the darkness. Right? So you're not you're going to have trouble. You're kind of going from memory now about where things were if you're going to keep moving, but you hear it kind of coming around the big slab.
So, yeah. Is it back to me, or we keep going? Or?
Yep.
Alright, so I'll feel my way across the slab, trying to make sure that we're not on the same side so it doesn't notice. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to reach into my pocket to pull out my match.
To pull out your what?
I have matches.
Yes, okay.
We'll strike a match.
Okay. Make a luck check.
One second, there's nothing in the way. Oh, there you go. Down.
You strike the match, but you hear it immediately like stop making its breathing noises. And you've struck the match. What do you do?
I'm gonna run to that hole where all my friends are at.
Okay. So you're not in pitch black, but the match only helps you, and it's only going to last for so long. So try a actually try an intelligence roll. I'd say that's sort of your memory of where things were to help you. You can push it if you'd like. Failure will be bad, however.
I mean, we're already in a bad spot.
Exactly. It's like it's yeah. Okay, so you actually you first get around the slab. That's pretty easy. But you momentarily become disoriented, but then sort of remember which way you need to go and start moving along. And you hear it coming after you.
Yeah. At a double time. We're going as far as fast as we can.
Okay. Make a luck check for me again for the match. The match, miraculously, the way you're moving is keeping the match sort of burning up the, it's slowly burning up the match. It hasn't gone out.
I got like my hand over it, covering it.
Yeah, the flame is still. You're kind of babying this flame and keeping it alive as you run along. So you get to the hole. The match is gonna go out for sure by the time you get to the hole. So make a. You can try your size check.
Is the gun outside the hole?
Yes, but your chance of seeing it would be very slim. Try a spot hidden because the match is going out as you get there. That's a spot hidden check. Okay, yes, you see the gun as you're going down, and the it's like the last thing you see as the match goes out.
Shit! Just grab it and fucking dive in that hole.
Okay. Give me a size check then.
Failed it.
Excellent. You want to fail that. That's in this case you want to not be big. So you manage to slither through as you can hear it pounding right on the other side, right up to that wall, and kind of give a. And you are up and through. And you guys, you're starting to. You're just about to start your desperate try to bid to scramble through, and you hear the professor come down that hall.
Professor,
You're alive.
Oh, thank the heavens. Do you have that dynamite?
That was so horrifying. You dropped this, by the way. No, hand him his...
Jack sort of looks a little embarrassed and sort of says, "Thank you, Professor. I may as well reload."
Yes.
Dynamite.
I'm going to start trying to chip a hole in the wall next to the slab. Something that we
Okay.
could, like, put the dynamite into.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? You'll blow us all up.
We're all going to die of suffocation if we don't get through soon. We'll set it and pray
Oh,
for a miracle.
right.
Back off a bit.
Is that it? I just
Maybe
feel
back
that's
into
a-
I didn't make that out, Demi.
Am I chopping?
Yes.
Uh, Go ahead. Now you're good.
And blow ourselves up. I did all of that just to blow up.
If you have a better suggestion, I'm all ears. We might be able to sort of back up, maybe enlarge these crevices in the wall to protect ourselves during the explosion.
Can I see the cracks that they knocked down a wall?
Sorry, say that again.
They knocked down a wall, and can I see?
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad now. At least to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down a wall, right? Can I see that?
You can see that they have shattered parts of the wall. Actually, you wouldn't see it because it was too dark
No,
as you were going by. You don't have any light now. There's really only the one candle in Edith's possession at the moment, plus the two in Liv's backpack or her kit.
Why don't we try breaking down one of these walls?
Well, we've tried. They only seem to open crevices, but
We could hide in them.
yes,
We have to do something.
Fine, I'll give her a dynamite. We're gonna die.
stop
Gotta do
break
something.
open the wall. Try to make us a place stuck behind while the explosion goes off.
You hear you hear it. That came from down the hall.
We don't
Okay.
have, we don't have time. We just put the dynamite down here, and then
Yeah.
we'll run back.
If she's managed to dig out anything in the floor, because she was trying to dig out a spot. Anyway, she'll try to tuck the dynamite in there as well as she can. I need matches.
Yeah. And Edith quickly whips out her matchbook and shoves it into Liv. Hey, take it. And she'll run back a little bit.
Take cover, everyone.
Jack will, having felt a bit useless there while they were doing all that, he'll try and push the ladies behind him as if they get into the crevice.
All right, so
Oh, you're gonna try. Okay, you're gonna try to crawl into the crevice. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Edith's gonna do.
and Olivia is going to look back at them, light the dynamite, and then run backward.
Okay. So this is going to be again an attempt to fail your size.
Okay.
Oh no!
No.
I'm stuck again.
You're stuck again. It's that big booty.
She's not a small woman.
Yeah. No. So yes, and Jack is trying to help her get in, but it's just not. It's just a little too. You're working your way in, right? It's not like you can't get in eventually, but you're just not going in real smoothly. And so Olivia, I would say, doesn't really quite know what's going on down there. She's got no light to do her work by.
Well,
so-
she can light a match. She got handed the matches, so
Yes,
she's
yes,
gonna light a
okay.
match, and then she's just gonna run backward.
Okay.
Also, Jack will say, "Sorry, Mum," and he'll give her a shove.
Okay. So go for a strength check, Jack.
Try
Oh, you forcibly push her in there. Edith takes a die 2 damage, bumping her head hard going through.
Ooh.
But you got her in.
Yeah, she might survive now.
And Olivia's running down the passage toward the quickly disappearing candlelight. So what are the other 3 of you doing?
I'm going to try and get the other 2 through if I can, and then go through myself.
Into the same space?
Oh, there's more than one, isn't there? Actually,
There's the one up here.
Can we get 2 into one space? Because then we can all
You
get
can
into the 2
try.
space.
You can I mean, there's definitely enough room to try to squeeze 2 people in there.
Olivia, well, she'll try to get in. She's the smallest, probably.
Yeah.
All right, go make a size check.
No,
She thinks too.
she swells when she's.
Actually, yeah, Jack was waiting there, so can he give her another shove?
Yeah, go ahead, and that will. So time is passing. The dynamite's going to go off very soon.
If the professor tries to get through while I'm doing this, if he tries to get to the other one.
Okay. If the professor is going to do that.
Oh no.
And you
Can I use luck?
Yes, you can use luck if you.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll do that.
That would be 8 points of luck. So you push her in, and that's your green bubble, by the way. Okay.
Oh, okay, it's in the bubble. Oh, cool.
Oh, cozy.
Yes, you 2 girls are cozy in there. What is the professor doing?
We're gonna pull out that flask, and we don't know what it is. We don't think it's alcohol, but let's find out.
You're gonna.
This is it. We're drinking whatever that is.
Ugh, it is terrible stale water.
Disgusting. What a waste.
Yeah, he spits it out. You have basically one thing before that dynamite goes off. You know it can't go that long. Actually, you let it live.
Yeah, live.
Make a luck check, Liv.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah. Not the person you want to make a luck check.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's gonna. What are you trying to do, Professor? Are you trying to get in that hole?
I don't know. I feel like he thinks this is it. He's gonna die. Well, let's light a cigar. Let's go.
He lights a cigar. This wall, you hear the wall at the plaster wall up ahead in the north. It just completely shatters, and you hear the thing obviously right in the same passage with you now. It has broken through, and then the dynamite goes off, and well, actually not quite yet. What are you doing, Jack? It's going to, though, soon, very soon.
Yeah, he was planning to try and get into that other hole. Is the professor's not going to get into it though, is he?
No, the professor stands there. So what do you? He starts to get out a cigar.
Okay. Jack just gives him a disbelieving look as he goes past and tries to get into the.
Okay, make your one size check.
Okay. No.
That is a fail, but you can spend 10 luck to make to
Oh yes.
fail it.
Yes.
Oh.
Definitely.
So you barely get in, and the dynamite goes off. So the immediate response, there's no immediate anything really. There's just like a moment of silence, and then you can hear the whole ceiling just kind of and it so Professor, there's no chance of you surviving that. But those of you inside, I will let you make a luck check to see if you
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
somehow.
Oh, who was that?
That was
Jack.
Jack.
Yep.
Oh my god!
He rolled a 1.
Oh,
We were.
I can
we got
spend
sealed
the
with
luck
Can't-
to make
no,
a luck.
You can't, actually,
Oh, you
yes, I'll
can.
let you
You
spend the
can.
luck to make the luck. Sure.
Can I?
Yes. So, except for Jack, who miraculously escaped getting hurt at all, somehow this little cavity remained whole, like it didn't collapse. The two of you do take some damage, a die 8 each. You don't die outright, but roll. Okay, so that's not enough to kill you, though almost. So basically, you're alive, but sort of buried down here.
Oh, that's not lucky.
That's worse. And we're
Um,
shoved in this tiny little space.
But you, Jack, so you hear you can hear the girls if you call out. I assume at some point you're going to call out to each other.
Oh yeah.
Screaming.
You can hear them calling to you, and you actually a little hole has opened above you, like the earth shaking, like somehow this whole part here kind of caved in, but shifted. It kind of caved into the passage, and there's sort of like about 10 feet between you and the surface, and you think you could actually maybe scramble your way up somehow.
Okay. Do I think I might be able to get through this wall between the two areas?
With your bare hands, no.
I've still got that half kopesh though.
You do. You could start digging.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be calling out to them, and I'll be yelling up through the gap as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll holster my revolver, and yeah, I'll try and break through this wall. There, I'll be yelling out to the ladies, yelling out blue murder to the workers that maybe are still above, and then yeah, see where I get to.
All right, you start digging. As you dig, you can tell as you're digging, you are making the hole above you start to cave in more, and you realize if you keep digging, that's going to close up on you and collapse in on you.
I'll say to them, I can't get through. I'm closing off the only exit. There's a way up. I'm going to try and go up and see what I can do from the outside. Says he as he runs off and he's going to die. No, not really.
So yeah, okay. Well, he can make his way up. That it's going to take an extreme effort for him to make his way up there. Make a luck check again.
Okay. All right. Oh, I've spent quite a lot of luck. Okay.
Fumble.
Oh.
Okay, so so Jack climbs out, but as you're climbing out, the whole thing collapses again. Like you and you kind of fall back down in, but not all the, like you're not buried in it. It just, you kind of fall as part of the collapse.
Can I get myself out?
Yes, you can get yourself out, but you realize there's no way you're getting to those girls now.
Oh.
It's just like it's there's no way back down easily to get to them.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to pull myself out of there and then try to. When I get out, is there any sign of the workers, or have they all just buggered off?
There is no sign of anyone.
Oh, bastards. There's nothing I can do then, isn't there?
Well, what's the entrance look like?
Yeah, I mean, it'll go around that way and see if it's blown apart and see if there's any equipment you can get used to, get through or anything. How's it looking?
Yeah, so you go around. So you go back to the entrance, and I'm gonna light up the place so you can see. Just give me a second here. At the entrance, there are a few small tools, but you can see that they've already disassembled the pulley system and all of that. And they've taken most of the stuff, like the camp outside has been ransacked and things taken, and they've just buggered off.
They probably deliberately just left us there. Wow. Okay, so there's no pulley system. Is the door destroyed?
The door is not destroyed.
Oh, no. Beyond, on the surface, beyond the door, is that, all caved in? Have I got a chance of digging down there?
Potentially, yeah. It would take us a long time. There are definitely shovels left. Those aren't very valuable. So you could start digging your way down. So you're gonna try to get to them?
Yeah, I know where I came out, and I'll try and judge a spot near there, and he'll be digging down. But yeah, he's probably he knows there's no hope really, but he's gonna do it anyway.
He spends a good few hours digging, and I'm gonna say, just for closure, he eventually finds their bodies and gets them out, but they obviously suffocated down there. And he will have to go off on his own.
Yeah, he gathers the bodies. He'll try and get the professor as well and cover them.
Oh, you can't find it. No, the professor's gone.
Oh, he's just,
you don't find his body anywhere.
Fair enough. And then
dun.
He will, gather the bodies and then think about making his long way back to, I guess it's Luxor.
Yep. He is the sole survivor. And that's it.
Well, Jack,
Thank you.
there were some maybe valuable artifacts in my pocket, so you can take those.
Yeah, I have some coins.
No, I think he'll be thinking anything to do with that tomb is cursed. He's not having anything to do with any of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Oh.
So,
great.
was there a way to actually get out of this thing?
There was a way to destroy the thing.
But would we get out of the place if we did?
Oh, we had to look at the whole thing. I'm excited. Oh shit! Oh, there's a whole.
Yes, so there was a way to destroy the thing, and then depending on how nice I wanted to be, maybe you can, with time, you could get your way out. But it's not. It wasn't meant to be one where there was much hope of
A
you ever
happy
getting out
ending.
alive. Yeah.
So
Unlikely
how
to
are you
happen.
supposed to kill it? Just
So in this treasury over here, there are canopic jars, and one of them actually contains a beating heart, which is what was animating this thing. And if you destroyed that, you would destroy the creature.
Cool.
But you never got back in there.
That was the closest.
Yeah,
Yes.
I actually really almost thought that you were going to go back that way and start poking around, and maybe it would like lose your track, and you could start picking through, and you would, you may have figured out, you may have found it and it may have worked, but you doubled back instead. So it's like, oh, okay, that's.
Could it have
I
made it
can
through
see
that
why you would.
entrance?
What?
Could it have made it through this entrance here between the two chambers? If he'd have got to this end room, could he have holed up in there long enough to? find
Very possibly, if anybody would ever come for him.
it?
The thing
I
is,
have beef jerky, huh?
Oh shit! You had
And
food.
stale water? I could have survived forever.
Yes, the thing is that as the doctor read in the journal, and I'll make the translated journals, everyone, if anyone wants to
Cool.
read them, I'll make them
Yeah.
available. This German guy began to suspect that the workers he had were working against him
yeah.
and abandoned him on purpose, just like they did you.
Bastard.
Cultist.
Yes.
Fucking cultists,
Dirty,
man.
dirty cultists.
No fair. All right. Well, I think we have another game in 10 minutes, so I gotta go.
Yeah,
and take
I
a potty
gotta-
break.
I gotta make food as quick as I can.